Week's edition of the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Adam Haley. Rusty Peace is staying in the state of South Carolina. We had the South Atlantic Conference basketball tournament there this past weekend in Greenville, Tennessee. In case you've not heard, the LMU men's team did win the South Atlantic Conference tournament and got the automatic berth into the 2014 NCAA Southeast Regional Tournament. They'll be taking on Carson Newman. That's the 2-7 matchup down there. Rusty has stayed in South Carolina. He's already moved his way over to Aiken to meet with the team. You see the bracket there. USC Aiken is the top seed. They're taking on Limestone, the 8. Anderson out of the South Atlantic Conference got the 4 after losing in the title game. And again, we are taking on Carson Newman in the 2-7 matchup. Montevallo and Georgia Southwestern in the 3-6 in the NCAA tournament there. If LMU was to advance past Carson Newman in the rubber match, they will meet the winner of Montevallo and Georgia Southwestern. Got a big show and for us here. We got the baseball coach, Jeff Sixside. We're also going to talk a little softball with Natalie Layden. And that's up next as you continue to watch the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Joined alongside now by the baseball coach, Coach Sixside. Coach, we're halfway through the baseball season. I know it's a little hard to believe. Snow on the ground this morning. We're in March, but you are officially halfway through the season.
Yeah, 70 degrees Tuesday, about an inch of snow Wednesday. So, yeah, we're halfway through, and been interesting. You know, we've played a lot of close games, and I've been fortunate in a lot of games to come out on top, but yeah, got some things we need to improve on still, but yeah, halfway through and in decent shape in the conference especially, and so hopefully we can continue to do that.
Your team sets at 15-7 and 1 overall in the season. Obviously, the tie against King, which I think we're going to finish that game later on in the season. But your team sets at 15-7 and 1, as we said, halfway through the season. Talk about your team's progression from the start to this point.
Yeah, I think last time we met, you know, we're trying to figure a lot of things out, and we're playing a lot of different lineups, and we've settled in pretty much right now in a lineup. You know, with a few exceptions, we sub out a couple guys depending on matchups, but you know, would like to see us swing the bats a little bit better as of late. Last weekend we did against Catawba. Need to continue to play solid defense and pitch it. We've pitched it solidly. I think there's room for improvement in every area, but we've had solid pitching and some really timely hitting, which has been kind of our formula so far. We haven't killed it offensively, but got some real timely hitting and pitched it solid, played solid defense. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Last year, you go to the South Atlantic Conference tournament. You win that tournament, you get the automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. Talk about how that really has set the tone and the goals for this season.
Yeah, I think the guys returning after going through that, winning breeds winning, and experiencing that, there's a higher expectation from our guys to not only finish, give ourselves a chance of being in the tournament, but to win a regular season title and take that and to win another conference tournament title. So winning breeds winning. I think the expectations have risen, and our guys are handling that, and there's a different mentality now that we've won, and getting a taste of that, you want to experience that again very badly. So.
You mentioned winning the regular season title. Looking over the standings, you're tied with Wingate currently at the top of the South Atlantic Conference standings, 10-4. Both teams are inside of the conference. Newberry and Anderson at 7-5 in the conference. Obviously, you still got a lot of games to go, but talk about being right there at the top of the conference, knowing only the top 6 teams really advance.
Yeah, I like to think of the baseball conference as the NFL. And any given weekend, anybody can win. There's really nobody on your schedule where you can look at and say, well, we'll have an easy time with them. Everybody is very, very competitive. Everybody's very good. We're going to have to be ready to play every weekend. There's no weekends off. And I've been fortunate to this point. Again, won a lot of close games, and going to need to be ready to play. We got 5 conference weekends left. We've played 5, and going to really need to be locked in down the stretch.
I want to talk about some individual players in just a second, but I got to ask you, inside of the South Atlantic Conference, there's some different sports that don't have all of its member institutions in it. Football is one of them. Baseball happens to be one of them also. Queens does not have a baseball team. Do you see that as an advantage or disadvantage that there's not an extra team there?
Well, a couple different ways you can look at that. This is our open weekend coming up. By only having 11 baseball playing schools, you create an open weekend in the middle of the year where you can play out of conference. We're playing Armstrong Atlantic out of the Peach Belt. They were number 3 team in regional, number 3 seed in regional last year, so a great opponent. Get a chance to play a quality team outside of conference, and if you do well, you put yourself in position to maybe up your region rankings. On the flip side, you don't play all the schools in the league, and that open weekend in the middle of the year can be tricky sometimes scheduling-wise. So, that you just deal with it. Everyone's in the same boat, and hopefully this weekend against Armstrong, we'll show up and play well.
Now you've taken on, you mentioned Armstrong Atlantic you got coming up. You've taken on some very tough teams. We'll take a look. You've got King, UVA Wise. You started off the season at USC Aiken.
Yeah.
Talk about how that also helps your team. You're playing some good opponents and also regional opponents.
Yeah, whoever makes the schedule probably needs to have a good talking to. But yeah, it's me. But we played Aiken, who preseason number 2 in the country. Played Bellarmine this week, who's a regional team last year. Play Huntsville in 2 weeks. They were on the border of getting in regional. Armstrong, number 3 team in the regional. So, but we want to challenge ourselves, play good teams, and we feel like it prepares us for conference, and we certainly haven't backed down from playing a good schedule. And if we want to take the program where we want to take it, you got to play good people. So that's what we're doing, and hopefully we can compete with those teams and play well.
All right, let's get to some of the individuals, and I'm going to pull these stats. You can kind of see them also here. Kelvin Brito, Jonathan Lowe, I kind of highlighted them a little bit. Brito's hitting 365 on the season. Lowe's hitting 348. I kind of highlighted some of the players. Obviously, we're going to talk about Josh Coker in just a minute because he's the one that's getting all the accolades. But I want to kind of spotlight some of these others. Brito and Lowe, again, hitting over 300. I highlighted them because they played a lot of games. Talk about their play.
Yeah, they've been very consistent. Kelvin has hit right in front of Josh Coker and done a nice job. And doesn't strike out much, puts the ball in play a lot, and it's had some big hits for us, some big home runs. Johnny Lowe he was injured to start the season, and we wasn't sure what we're going to get from him, but he got healthy and has played very, very well since he's kind of taken over that leadoff spot position for us in center field and really produced. So he's been a nice addition. Had a little bit of an injury yesterday or Tuesday, so injured his back, so hopefully he'll be okay. But those 2 guys have done a real nice job for us, new additions to the team this year, and have produced well.
All right, now we got to talk about the guy that gets all the accolades, Josh Coker. Railsplitter of the Week, he's been named that. I believe he's the current South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week. He's actually the NCBWA Player of the Week. Yeah. Talk about how he's leading this team.
Man, he's, I said it last time on the show, he's just been a monster. Gosh, I mean, he's not only put up big numbers, they've been in pretty big situations too. He's 368 with 10 home runs through 20 games, but they haven't been empty home runs. They've been pretty meaningful home runs, and also has 7 saves on the mound. He's our closer, and so he has accounted for a lot of our success. Going going back to last year, the last half of last year and this year, I'm not sure I've seen a player put together the numbers he's put in the last 40 games, but it's been impressive. He's playing with the urgency that only seniors can have sometimes. You know, it's their last go-round in a college uniform, and he's playing with that desperation and urgency and just taking us on his back. And, you know, hopefully our other guys will continue to improve so it can take a little bit of load off him. But he's been fantastic, and, you know, he deserves all the recognition that he's gotten.
I can't believe it's very easy to find a person that can hit that well, but yet also pitch that well.
Yeah, you know, I like two-way guys who can do that. You know, he pitched in high school quite a bit, at his junior college more sparingly, and has come in, and it's a credit to him and his work ethic. He's bought into the things that we're trying to teach him and worked very hard at it. To be a good two-way player at this level, you got to put in an incredible amount of time and effort to do that, and he has, and it's a testament to how hard he's worked, so I'm happy for his success so far.
Let's talk about some of your other pitchers. Logan Sawyer's got a 3.89 ERA, 4-2 on the season. You've got Zach Butler, Wes Todd's 4-1 on the season. Talk about how they're leading.
Yeah, they've given us a chance to win. Those are our 3 weekend guys, and they've given us a chance, you know, to win every time out. And again, we've combined that with quality defense and timely hitting, and they've all three done a nice job, and Logan's gone out and set the tone for us on Friday nights and given us a chance. And, you know, they've been very solid. Can they improve? Of course, but they've given us a chance every time out, and that's what you got to have from your 3 guys.
We'll talk about the Armstrong Atlantic series coming up. Your next South Atlantic Conference series is March 21st and 22nd. Here at home, you take on Brevard in a 3-game series. Yeah,
and they're much improved. 2 years ago, 2012, they finished 3rd. You know, had a little bit of a rough year last year, but like we said, NFL, any given weekend, we're certainly preparing hard for them. Need to play well this weekend against Armstrong, but looking forward to Brevard. Going to have to play very well. Their top 2 guys on the mound are giving everybody trouble. You know, they swept Catawba early in the year. Certainly give them a ton of respect, which they deserve, and we're going to have to be ready to go.
I know as a coach you don't like to look ahead. No coach likes to look ahead. So we'll talk about the Armstrong Atlantic series we got here. You've got them on the road in Savannah before you get Young, Harris, and Harrogate. How are we going to get this 3-game series for us before you get ready for Young, Harris?
Yeah, again, quality opponent out of the Peach Belt. They were the number 3 seed in our regional last year. Got a lot of guys back. You know, again, going to have to play very, very well. They played Wingate, who we're tied with for first place yesterday and the day before, and beat them 2 straight. So great opponent. We're going to be really locked in. Winning on the road, you know, is always tough, especially on a weekend. So we're really going to have to be locked in to play well there.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck on this trip to Savannah and bring back a big victory.
Thank you.
Head Coach Jeff Sixside. When we come back, we're going to talk a little softball with Head Coach Natalie Layden, and that's up next on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients. As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
Softball diamond, just a little bit over to the softball diamond. Head coach Natalie Layden with us now. We talked a little conference with Coach Six Eye. We get to talk some conference with you, but the difference is you've not actually played a conference game just a matter of yet. Right. You start that this weekend.
Absolutely. We've been playing non-conference games, almost 25 games at this point. You know, it's been a tough weekend driving down to Florida and getting back in 3 days, but we're on our way to playing at Queens on Saturday to start conference.
14-7 on the season as you get ready to jump into conference. Best start to the season. Is this where you think you might want to be starting into conference? I mean, obviously for a coach, you want to be at 21-0.
Absolutely.
But at 14-7, is that kind of where you want to be?
It is. You know, I think we've learned a lot about ourselves along the way. You know, we've seen some players who have stepped up in game situations who maybe we didn't know in the beginning. You know, we've played an extremely hard schedule. A lot of nationally ranked, regionally ranked teams. Everybody's been regional except for Milligan for us. So right now it's been about challenging our group to push us as hard as we can to get ready for this upcoming weekend, knowing that a new season starts. I know the team is excited. I'm excited. And everybody's just ready to get going at that conference.
Are you ready to be out of tournament play? I feel like every time we turn around, we look at the softball schedule, you're in a different kind of tournament. You were in St. Leo for a tournament this past weekend. So
yeah, it'll be nice to play 2 games at a time. We're not used to that right now. We're used to playing 5 within a 2-day span or 3-day span at most. You know, so I know our pitching will like that. I know a lot of our runners and things like that will like that as well, to cut down on that a little bit. But as far as our team, we finally, as of today, everybody's healthy. You know, we haven't had Kelly Dreyer pretty much our whole season due to injuries, whether it's a surgery or a concussion, those kinds of things. So it'll be nice to get Kelly back in the mix. But we're excited.
You played a lot of top-notch teams, as you've already said. I've talked to different coaches in different sports. They'll either you'll see some that want to take maybe an easier type of victory, or they'll want to play those top-notch opponents to try to get that experience for when you prepare for the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Is that the approach you have?
No, not at all. Not at all. Our first weekend out, we beat Columbus State, who was number 25 in the country. We beat them. The week after that, we played a doubleheader with North Georgia, who was ranked 12th. We ended up splitting that doubleheader with them, and the game we lost was extra innings, 1-0. You know, we've gone down and played just about every team that was in regionals for the Southeast Atlantic area. And so now it's just a matter of taking that experience and putting it towards conference play. We'll never dummy down our schedule. It's just, I don't know if that's good for our record or not, but I feel like we're more prepared going into games. And it's nice to see how much our team has grown by doing that last year. It beat us up a little bit for sure, but I think we're more prepared to what we're going to see and the teams we're going to face, and that level of play is better for us.
14-7 on the season, as we said. You're essentially, we'll call it the halfway point. You're done with non-conference, getting ready to jump into conference. Is there one player in particular, or maybe a couple players in particular, that have jumped out from the start of the season when you were training to now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a group effort. At this point, we don't necessarily have one athlete who's just stood out. You know, I know you talked about Josh Coker earlier for baseball. We haven't necessarily had that one player who's just dominated. Ours has definitely been a group effort. You know, our pitching ERAs, they're all under 3. Our team hitting is around 280 as a team, which is pretty good. You know, we've spaced out our power numbers, so not just one person has power numbers now. You know, on base percentage is pretty high. The one thing we'd like to solidify a little bit better would be our defense, because we have been so offensive minded. So it'll be nice to have a little bit more focus on that going into conference.
Before we talk about the conference play, this is your second season at the helm here. Mm-hmm. What has been different from this season from last season?
This season it's been nice. They understand what to expect. They understand high intensity practices. They understand making mistakes are not okay, but yet they're not life or death either. You know, so we've been working on a lot of those things, more so the mentality of being a fighter, being a winner, those kinds of things versus, you know, it's okay and you'll get over it, or that kind of mentality. I think that a lot of female athletics tend to have, you know, and it's been tough. Our practices here lately have been really tough. But I do feel like we're a lot further than we were last year. You know, we're deeper, so that helps too. People aren't worn as thin, and you know, players aren't as tired because they're able to have somebody to come in and you know, take an inning off of them, or you know, in practice be able to switch out with each other. So that part's been nice, and I think it's helped us.
For a guy that didn't play many athletics in high school or anywhere else, explain a high-octane practice.
Well, it's very organized. So when they get there, the practice plan's in the dugout, and it's down to the minute of what they're doing. They already know what the drills are, those kinds of things. So everything's set up. We don't waste time moving equipment, and it's just a matter of grabbing a drink in between drills and keep on moving. So, we don't practice very long, 2 or 2.5 hours, and I don't think we could make it much longer. I don't think many teams could make it in our practice over 2.5 hours. You just physically couldn't do it.
All right, so as we said, you're getting ready to start conference play. Talk about the South Atlantic Conference. Everybody's 0-0 right now in the South Atlantic Conference. Who are you expecting, besides yourself, to jump out at the front of the pack?
All right. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's been very up or down so far in our non-conference that you don't really have that one team. I know a few years ago, you had a Lenore Ryan who just dominated, and they came into conference play just the no doubt number one. At this point in the year, I have no idea. Carson Newman's doing well. Lenore Ryan's doing well. Anderson's ranked 14th right now. So we've got a lot of teams in our conference who are doing well, but no one has really necessarily had the strength of schedule and domination that you would think that would be your conference champion right at this point.
So now you go into, I guess, what is a little bit of the unknown.
Right.
You go to Queens to start off the South Atlantic Conference schedule. Queens, one of the 2 new members into the South Atlantic Conference. What are you expecting from the Royals?
I'm expecting them to play short. Just from what we've gathered from them, they don't necessarily have a ton of power or haven't showed much power. And that's not to say it's not going to show up on Saturday. I think they're a well-coached team. They're going to be very aggressive on the bases, play a little fast, which is nice that we just got used to that this past weekend. So that type of play for us is different, to play slower. But as far as their pitching goes, I think pitching is what we've seen up to this point. And we just got to go in there and fight. We just got to want it more than they do, and I think we'll be okay, but they're definitely going to want it. It's a new season for them, too.
So you go to Queens, then you're home for Tusculum. Now, I got to ask this question. For those that don't know, the South Atlantic Conference tournament this year is here in Harrogate. Is there a little bit of pressure on this Lady Railsplitter team, knowing the tournament's at home and they need to be in it?
I guess. I think the pressure of being in the tournament's there anyway. Of course, being at home would it's a little bit more pressure than normal. But as far as wanting to be there and wanting to win, I don't feel that's changed. We're excited about hosting it. I think it's going to be a great tournament. Our athletic administration has done a great job getting prepared for this alongside of the conference office. So I do feel that it's going to be a well-run tournament, no doubt. And, of course, we plan to be there.
I imagine it does add a little bit of confidence knowing that once you get to the tournament, you're not sleeping in a hotel room or practicing on a weird field. You're at home. You're in your dorm.
Yeah, we're excited.
All right, let's talk about some of the players. We're starting to run out of time here. I'll do like I did with 6. I'll bring the stats closer to all of us here. You look at the top of the batting average. I mean, you see some of the people you're used to seeing. You've got Kristen Toole there, Emily Solomon. Again, you've already said you have a number of players hitting over 300 on the season.
Yeah, we've got, our group's working hard offensively. Emily Solomon's been solid at the top of our lineup. And then right behind her is Brianna Mulkey, which has been nice to have a hitter in that situation as far as when the 8 and 9 hole get on base that we're able to have a hitter to do that and then start off with a second leadoff. I feel that it's made our offense definitely much better, but we've been solid in that 3, 4, 5 for the most part, coming up with big hits between Kirsten Toole and Amanda Snow. A couple of freshmen have stepped up, whether it's Meredith Johnson or Peyton Bruce. They've come in with some power, and then right behind them is some first years as well who are doing their job. So it's been nice, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue to grow.
I followed softball a lot through high school and a little bit. Probably one of the many sports I've watched here on campus. And when I watch softball, I kind of think one of the most important aspects of the game is the pitching. And you mentioned a little bit earlier, you've got Toole and Smith together are 12-7 on the season. You have a pretty good pitching staff. We do. We have a solid pitching staff, a group that works really hard. Coach Berkheimer's kind of taking them since January and done a really nice job with them. Now it's just a matter of, okay, how are you going to do against people who have already seen you and making those adjustments right now getting into conference. So I think that we've got a good mix of pitching and a veteran pitching staff, which is nice because you don't have to work through the freshman jitters of things. So again, you've got to go to Queens March 15th for a doubleheader. You're back here at home March 18th against Tusculum. We're asking Splitter Nation come out, support the Lady Railsplitters. Coach, hopefully when it comes April time, you're the #1 seed in that tournament when we're at home. So,
Let's hope so.
Good luck this week against Queens.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach Natalie Layton, when we come back, we're going to wrap it up here for the Railsplitter Athletic Report and let you know what's going on this week in LMU sports. And that's up next on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
I deal with life and death situations.
We touch a lot of lives every day.
People's lives are in your hands.
I will be a nurse.
I will be a nurse.
The Duncan School of Law at LMU, where innovative teaching meets cutting-edge technology.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
There might be some taste infringement issues.
There's really no legal concepts of a company bringing a lawsuit against itself.
If this is the king of the jungle, they're acting like the toucan that's on the branch, real colorful and preening, and showing off, and hey, look at us. I want to take a stick and knock that toucan off the branch.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. One of the area's best-kept secrets when it comes to piping hot fast food is World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center. No matter whether it's chicken tenders, chicken wraps, burgers, or hot wings in a variety of flavors, WOW has a menu that's second to none. Try one of our fantastic sides like our fried mushrooms, fried pickles, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, our famous cheese fries, sweet potato fries, or our Texas toast. Shock your taste buds at WOW World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center.
Talked a lot of spring sports, obviously with the baseball and softball, and we'd like to thank those coaches for coming in. Basketball is just not quite done. As we started to talk about in the beginning of the show, the LMU men's basketball team is in the NCAA Division II tournament. They're in a Southeast region. They drew the number 2 seed again this season. The luck of the draw, I guess is the way we'll put it, they ended up drawing the number 7 seed, which happens to be the Carson-Newman Eagles. These two teams split the regular season, with Carson-Newman winning in Jefferson City and LMU winning here in Harrogate. The rubber match will start at 2:30 Eastern. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 2 o'clock on 91.3 FM, WLMU, and the LMU Sports Networks. As you take a look at the bracket there, USC Aiken out of the Peach Belt, they won their tournament by 2 points. They're the number 1 overall seed. They're hosting. They're taking on Conference Carolinas champion Limestone, who happens to be the 8 seed. Montevallo, the team Aiken beating the Peach Belt. They're the number 3, taking on Georgia Southwestern. And the 4-5 matchup actually gets Saturday kicked off as 4th-seeded Anderson will take on, that's 5th-seeded Georgia Regents University Augusta. I think they tip off around noontime down in Aiken. If you go to the LMU Athletics webpage, that's LMURailsplitters.com, you'll find an audio and a video link for the tournament come Saturday. Also want to send a congratulations out to Vincent Bailey, one of the seniors on this LMU men's basketball program. Found out earlier today, was named the Daktronics All-Regent MVP. So congratulations to Vinny Bailey and the rest of the LMU Rail Splitters. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Railsplitter Athletic Report. Tune in next week when we'll have results from the Southeast Regional. I'm Adam Haley, and we'll see you next Thursday night here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.